Welcome, everybody. Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Somerset House. We are thrilled to have you with us for ReachFWD 2026. Ooh, wow! We were all told to expect tube strikes today, so we were super ready. There was a very real chance that this event would actually be happening where people live instead of here, but I'm glad you've made the journey, so thank you so much. We chose this landmark location for a reason. Somerset House is a place defined by history, trust. It has evolved into a global hub for culture and cutting-edge creativity. That evolution mirrors our own. Today, we aren't just here to talk to you about where we have been, but also, and most importantly, where we're going. Like most people in this room, my relationship with media is also quite personal. I grew up in northwest London. Do we have any North Wheezy people in the house? Absolutely, fantastic. Whoever booed, see me later. I studied in Richmond. I went to Richmond College. I then went to university in Lincolnshire. I cut my teeth in media in Leeds before finally settling back in London, this time south of the river with my family. And my son just wanted a Crystal Palace football kit. So if you have any Crystal Palace fans, please see me after. Pierce, settle down. I guess that's just you. But I've worked platform side at companies like Meta, Reddit, looking at audiences at a true global scale. But now at Reach, I get to see those same stories played out at national level with brands like The Mirror, The Express, and right down to local titles serving specific cities and communities that matter to us. That mix from global platforms to national newsrooms to the local reporters that we have on the ground has shown me just how powerful it is when you can combine that big reach with real relevance. So we're bringing this to life for you today with our core proposition. A lot of you have seen this before. It's all about where people live. Now, when I say that, at Reach, where people live is more than just a geographic location. It's where our audiences and your customers live in terms of their values, interests, their social feeds, their passions, and their online communities as well. Whether it's the school gates, shout out to all the mums that have made Adweek happen, on the terraces in an online forum, or social feed scrolling, our 120 plus brands are already there, joining in the conversations that matter most to them. So, while our heritage in print has given us a very important foundation when it comes to unmatched trust, our future is defined by a digital, video-first mindset. Today, we're going to be moving the traditional to showcase our true engine room, Reach Studio. You'll hear how we're leveraging our top-tier talent, robust data sets, and high-impact video capabilities to turn audience attention into brand growth. It's been quite a journey. I've only been here since October, but it still has been quite a journey, shared with our readers and brand partners every step of the way. Today, we're celebrating that progress, and our theme, From Paper to Pixel, which you're going to hear a lot about today, captures how we've grown from the traditional publisher into this digital-first media company. We're building on the credibility, the community rooted in our print heritage, as I've said, but we're also leading across every platform that matters to our audience. In a landscape often plagued by anonymity, fake news, that authenticity sets us apart and is super important to the customers that we serve. And with our earliest title published in 1711, it's our reputation that keeps us relevant today. But like I said, we're here today to put a spotlight on Studio. So let's take a look of what we've been up to over the last year.
We just polar opposites.
I would love to come round for a party.
We could have a Welsh party.
We all warmed up? Yeah! Yeah! Let's go!
You're remembering how you felt when you played those games.
That's the game we all fell in love with.
So I've got some big games of football in the Premier League.
We mean business.
Lost it. Proper lost it.
That would mean everything.
We're ready to dive into all things rugby league.
Oh, you got me.
Let's be real. Ooh.
How does it make you feel when you realise that it's AI?
The cows have been here for hundreds of years.
This is going to have a real-world impact.
Big up yourself, young man.
Spoiler, it's actually way harder than it looks.
Rosalia at the Brits, unreal.
Have fun with layering up.
I definitely would.
I joined the Liberal Democrats because I wanted the free beer mat.
You had it there first.
Welcome to the Bride of Britain!
We're like a family, big family.
Congratulations, Spawn!
It's become more than a football club now.
It means everything.
Class dismissed.
So, to tell you a little bit more, I am delighted to introduce to you the other half of M&M, Mark Melling, our interim studio director, to the stage, and he's going to show you how we are bringing this digital future to life here at Reach. Mark.
I'd watch that again. Love a good sizzle. Hi, everyone. Mark, as Maria mentioned, the interim studio director at Reach. So when Maria was talking about from paper to pixel, we're not just talking about taking content from paper and moving it over to screens. We're talking about how Reach is evolving the way that we actually do content, the way that brands connect with audiences, and how that evolution is being shaped by where people really and actually live today. Because where people live is not just a very clever catchphrase, although pretty clever. Reach where people, no? It's actually the fabric of what we do. It's what we think about when we come to work. It shapes how we talk about audiences. It shapes how we create content. And it shapes how we build partnerships with you. Shapes where we continue to focus on investment. And more that's starting with video. Now, when we ask where people live, that is actually a tricky question, because people today, they live in lots of different places. It's not just one place, but several places at once. Firstly, they do and always live in places where truth and authenticity really matter. That's always mattered to us, of course, as a newspaper brand, but in today's environment, it matters, I'd argue, more than ever. There was a time for some of us older heads where social media first kind of dawned and legacy became kind of like this curse or this bad word. But in a world today, that's the media world certainly, that's shaped by things like AI slop, misinformation, and, well, endless doom scrolling. I'd argue that it has a very special power, legacy today. Legacy is a result of doing something over and over really, really well. Decades of telling stories that people come back to because they recognize the voice, they recognize the perspective, and they see the relevance in their own lives and their communities. It's built over years, it's across formats, it's beyond platforms, and it's across generations. And our focus here today is how that continues in video. That's what gives our brand its credibility now, and it's what continues to give audiences what they want and what matters to them today. Secondly, our audiences also live in multimedia worlds. They move fluidly between platforms, formats, and devices. They read, they scroll, they listen, and of course now they watch. They live in social feeds, on websites, in podcasts, and papers. They live in video environments where sight, sound, and motion is doing more heavy lifting and storytelling than it has ever before. That's why video is such an important part of everyone's future in this room. Not because it's fashionable or trendy or cool, it is cool, but because it's how audiences want to connect. It's how they increasingly look to us for storytelling. It's where attention is going, it's where loyalty is forming, and it's where brands have that opportunity to connect in immediate and emotional ways, which is what we all want. And lastly, of course, audiences live all across the nation, of course. They don't just live in London, which we sometimes forget. They don't just live in one type of community. They live in cities, towns, and villages all across the nations in the UK. They have their own interests, their own views, their own identity, their own perspectives, often their own accents, which I don't always understand, but we get there in the end. So our ability to create content at scale that actually connects with people in those communities doesn't come from a centralized single view. It can't. It comes from teams who understand their audiences because they live there. They know what matters in those communities and how to tell those stories in ways that resonate, in ways that matter. That's why we continue to invest And studios, not just here in London, but also with studios in Manchester, Liverpool, Birmingham, Newcastle, Glasgow, and beyond that, supported by 100+ video editors and video journalists across the nations who are embedded in those communities. And it's important to note that this isn't something that's new or we're announcing today. Studio is already a core part of our business. What you're seeing us talk about here today is continued investment, continued growth, and continued focus on the biggest opportunity that we have as partners ahead. Because as audience behaviors shift, we're building further into those formats and platforms people are paying attention to, and those platforms that are growing fastest. It's where we take the power of Reach's editorial heritage and translate it into formats, franchises, and partnerships designed for the way people engage now. So when we say from paper to pixel, it's not leaving something behind for something new. It's taking something with us. It's taking trust, authority, audience, and connection that Reach has built over generations. Generations, think about what that means. And evolving it into richer, faster, more visual formats. And that's really exciting for all of us, because a visual-first future is where brands can do more than just appear next to content, right? They can become part of the stories and part of the experience that people are actively choosing to engage with. So that's the past, present, and future of Reach Studio. But to show you how that strategic foundation comes to life in practice, I'm going to hand you over to our planning director, Jenny Shevlin.
Thanks, Mark. Hi, everyone. So as Maria mentioned, our brands are at the heart of where people live in communities across the entire country. They're a beacon of credibility relied upon daily by millions of people in passionate, loyal communities. And at the heart of our brands are some of the most respected editors, journalists, and titles in the country. Some of you are in the room today. And audiences turn to them because they trust what we deliver. They're meeting them in the moments that matter across the channels we love with content that resonates. Within the work that we create in studio, where people live is our strategic North Star. And we start with a vast system of first-party data. That's granular site behavior, audience sentiment, or bespoke research, and as you can see, so much more. Our product and engineering teams are actually developing a centralized data platform called Engine, and that's been used to power a whole host of AI agents that we use to help uncover kind of those nuggets that tell us something new and surprising about our content and about our audiences. So for example, we can analyze the linguistic patterns in our headlines to see what drives the most engagement, or we can have a look at what content themes are most popular depending on the region or city where our audiences live. And as well as those numbers and all of that lovely data that we've got, we've also got access to another rich first-party data source, and that's our journalists. So as well as those numbers, we can get on the phone to them, have a call with them, and because they hold such a wealth of insight into what makes real people tick. And all of that sits behind our planning framework that we've called LIVE. It gives us a deep understanding of an audience, ensuring our work reaches them in the most effective way. So with LIVE framework, we start with location. So we map the geographic and digital footprint of our audience. Because we've got local roots, as we've said, in every single community across the UK, we can really uncover those subtle differences in how your audience thinks and behaves. We then layer in interests, so we can look into exactly what they're reading, sharing, and obsessing with across our network, in real time. And doing this makes sure that our campaigns are impossible to ignore, as they're built directly around the stories that are already being consumed. We then look to their values and the causes and attitude that drive them, and which of our brands that they might align with. So for me, I'm really proud that one of the Mirror's key values is standing up for people that usually don't have a platform and giving them that platform. So we can connect the right brands to that authentic place and that authentic value. We're really making sure that the message is grounded in emotion and heart. And then finally, we finish with engagement. So we're really understanding exactly how and why they interact with us, whether that's the time of day, device, or platform. So this framework really allows us to stop simply just reaching audiences and instead engage really deeply with them. It's about finding that heart of the conversation, whether it's the school gate, whether it's the buzz around match day, or simply the morning scroll. And we're making sure that your brands show up exactly where your customers live. It's the fuel that powers our studio campaigns. So we'll work up a live framework for the different briefs that we get in, and it gives us a really nice, rock-solid foundation that, for our creative team to build on, ensuring that every single idea we work up is rooted in the real-world behaviours of our audience. So to show you how we bring this to life, I'm delighted to introduce Sophie, our Head of Content Strategy and Innovation.
All right, calm down, calm down. Hi, everyone. As Jenny said, I'm Sophie Tighe. I'm the Head of Content Strategy and Innovation, and if that sounds like a mouthful, it is because I made that job title up. And I'm here to talk to you about the creative teams at Reach Studio, which I am very, very fortunate to lead. I'm here to talk to you about how we're learning from our legacy of trust to evolve our branded content offering for a video-first marketplace. So when it comes to living the value of where people live, we don't just target demographics. We engage audiences where their values, passions, and their locations converge. And this isn't just a theoretical concept, it is genuinely how we approach every single brief here at Reach Studio. This deep understanding of our communities actually starts with the fact that our creative teams themselves hail from almost every corner of this country. Like, this is a real map that I had the wonderful design team make up. This is where our guys are from. I'm not joking. We have creatives from Belfast to Brockley, from Newcastle to Newquay, and some of their lovely faces are here today. This local resonance allows us to unlock deeply engaged and high-intent audiences for our partners. It does make organising the Christmas do an absolute nightmare. This connection is amplified by the unique relationship between editorial and commercial. So we as Studio are standing on the shoulders of an editorial team where the importance of trust from our readers in the words we print or film, is never taken for granted. By integrating our commercial thinking with our powerful editorial insights, we're not just borrowing that trust, we're applying data-led creativity to it, ensuring that our branded content is both authentic to our publications and effective for your business. The biggest change in our creative output has been our unapologetic pivot to meet audiences where they are now, and that's in video and on social platforms, where we've supercharged our commercial video offering. And this isn't just adding a video editor here or a photographer there, or a videographer there. We've brought in new creative producers with years of dedicated video production experience to drive bigger, bolder ideas across every campaign. And an example I'd love to give you guys is we won Tesco Mobile at the tail end of last year. That was a real landmark for us as a creative studio. We went big, we went bold, and we went back with a video-led response, pitching a 6-part video series across the whole of 2026 with real-life storytelling at its heart. Led by host Giovanna Fletcher, the Family Chat explores how families are impacted by online safety concerns, positioning Tesco Mobile as the provider who gets it like no other. And I wanted to thank Tesco Mobile and Essence Mediacom, I know some of the team are here today, for trusting us to deliver what has already been a fantastic campaign. And I really can't wait for you guys to see the next episode. It's going to be a lot of fun. We're also expanding our talent pool to include Reach's very own dedicated TikTok creator network. By upskilling our in-house roster of award-winning journalists, and I don't say that lightly, I was a journalist for 13 years, didn't win fuck all, excuse my language, in video and social, so it's a big deal. We're ensuring that this new video-first direction is underpinned by what has always been the backbone of Reach's success. People getting up on stage and swearing. I joke, it's quality journalism. This content is designed not just for views, but for genuine engagement. These actions are already yielding concrete results. Over the last 6 months, we've seen a 42% increase in winning briefs, but more importantly than that, we've seen this fundamental shift in the way that clients and agencies are viewing Reach and the work that we're putting forward. We got some recent feedback on a brief that we won, which was obviously great, but the feedback said, not only did we love the ideas, we couldn't believe they came from Reach, and I'm not gonna lie, that felt pretty good to hear. So if you are looking for fresh creative ideas that have editorial integrity at their heart, please feel free to slide into my DMs. I did not design this. But for now, I'm going to hand over to our wonderful strategy director, Charlotte.
So nice to see so many familiar faces here today. I'm Charlotte, strategy director. So you've seen from the team and heard how we've sort of been evolving our studio offering, reflecting how those audiences are consuming our content both online and offline across our platforms. And we are taking content to new heights. But we want to build on this one step further. And I'm really excited today to announce a new offering, which we're going to be coming to talk to you all about and making part of our responses because we're genuinely really excited to introduce Reach Live experiences. So, launching today, Reach Live Experience is our new events, experiential, and live experience offering. This is where the power of those 120 plus trusted Reach brands moves beyond the page, moves beyond the screen, even moves beyond the social feeds, and actually becomes real life. As Jenny mentioned, we've built deep trusted relationships with millions and millions of people across the UK. We inform them, we champion their communities, we celebrate and are part of their story. So now, with Reach Live Experiences, we're creating the opportunity to bring those audiences together, physically, in a meaningful and memorable way. But what does this mean for you guys and for our advertising partners and our agency partners? As Mark mentioned, the attention game has changed. You know, audiences are harder to reach, they're more selective, they're more skeptical than ever. But what hasn't changed is the power of shared experience. Those live moments create emotional connection. They drive advocacy, they spark social amplification, and when those moments are rooted in trusted editorial brands, they carry an authenticity that is truly invaluable. Now, we're not just any old events team. We are powered by the fabulous and award-winning team that absolutely creates and curates the wonderful Pride of Britain and Pride of Scotland, an iconic and enduring platform that now forms part of our culture. So Pride of and the Pride of family shows what happens when trusted storytelling meets live celebration, real motion, scale, real influence, a bit of celebrity and a red carpet sparkle. It's the heritage that we're going to be building from. So this is why we feel we're really uniquely placed to come and talk to you about Reach Live Experiences. We have the expertise, we have the trust, we've got the multi-channel execution, we have the editorial powerhouse and storytelling behind us. And so today, Reach Live Experience isn't just about events, it's about integrating audience engagement, editorially led insight, and commercially powerful opportunities for you guys and your clients. And we really want you guys to be a part of it. So my ask to you is come and talk to us. If you've got a challenge, throw it our way. We'd love to sort of pitch some ideas to you. So, you know, the new news, though, however, doesn't stop here. So I'm now going to hand you over to the wonderful and fabulous Amy, who is our creative director, who's going to tell you more about what's coming and in store for 2026.
Hello, I'm Amy. I'm Creative Director. I lead the development and production of our in-house formats and the launch of our new standalone YouTube channels. We have a packed slate full of bold, fun, original ideas, and every day I'm so excited by the work we're making. So I'm going to take you through a few of the highlights now. So we know that Reach are the #1 publisher for sport, with 52 million page views every month and 25 million football fans across our regional and national networks. So we launched not one, but 2 sports brands last year. Kicking off first is All Out Football, our fan-first channel, created in partnership with Sky Bet and built to bring audiences closer to the game. It's football conversation from people who genuinely live and breathe the sport. In the Mixer is our weekly show, hosted by Olivia Bazaglo and ex-professional Jolien Lescott. We make the headlines with big exclusives, with guests like Joe Hart, Andy Cole, Shaun Wright-Phillips, and of course, today's very special guest. But we also get behind the headlines by diving into the week's biggest talking points and asking all the juicy questions that every football fan wants to know the answer to. All Out Originals is our monthly premium doc strand. That's where we hero the fans, their community, and their culture. It's where people really live, and we don't just celebrate it, we champion it. These docs are packed full of actuality, matchday excitement, and emotive interviews. Now, since launching, we've produced over 2,000 videos, we've distributed across 18 channels, and this week we celebrated hitting 60 million views. Next up was All Out Rugby League. Now, we know we had a rugby league audience editorially, and although the sport is small, the passion for it is huge. So we capitalized on an underserved audience by launching Back 10, our weekly flagship show that delivers dynamic, news-driven content and opinion. Hosted by leading voices in the game, ex-pros Kyle Amor, Paul Cook and Danny Maguire, Our content is a level up from those playing in the field. So we're seeing an average watch time of over 10 minutes per episode, a whopping 94% engaged views, which is incredible. Another member of the All Out family is All Out Gaming. Now, this is a team of gaming experts who know their audience because they are the audience. Now, with 6.1 million YouTube views last year, we came back into 2026, adding 2 new original formats to the slate, Hands-On, a premium preview series, and Player versus Player, a head-to-head spicy debate show featuring the All Out team. Now, a Reach brand that I've been a fan of for years, and I even have a cherished copy of the iconic Beckham's wedding issue tucked away at home. And we have been reminded recently how much Victoria really does like to have a good time at a wedding. OK Loves is our video offering. It's all the nostalgia of a classic OK feature, reimagined for a social-first audience. Now, working closely with the OK team and leveraging our in-house fashion expertise, we launched Off the Rails, which gives the audience a VIP pass to the latest fashion trends, and The Look for Less, which is our celeb-loving audience's guide to creating those looks on a budget. We've also launched OK Beauty, Black Beauty, where our beauty editors spotlight new launches and new products. Now, all of this is just a slice of what's in production right now. But coming up later in the year, we are relaunching, I should say, our beloved money-saving property, Cash Queens, and it's coming back bigger than ever. So for those of you who don't know, Cash Queens was a column in the Mirror for over a decade, but now we're taking it from paper to pixel, and with digital, social, and video content distributed across the Reach portfolio. And with 8.1 million female readers who are the primary household shoppers, we are in a unique position to meet audiences exactly where they are. All Out Fighting is joining the All Out family, launching later this month with a Hero Weekly YouTube show, utilizing our access and our journalism across boxing and MMA. We have a parenting format, Ents ideas, youth skewing formats, homed under our under 35 brand Curiously, and off the back of the success of the Daily Espresso, we'll also be launching a Mirror Daily show shot in our Canary Wharf studios. So Studio is really buzzing with big ideas and exciting projects, and it's really great to see you all here today. Please do take the time to walk around and visit the interactive zones that we've created at the back there. It's just a way to bring the brands to life and to give you a flavor of what they're all about. I mean, there's no need to go to the corner shop today. You can grab your pint of milk from the Cash Queen store right over there. Mark's going to join me on stage now. Very smooth.
Very subtle.
Yeah.
Very subtle, smooth transition. So just to say, our 2026 slate is incredibly ambitious, and we hope that today has given you a clear sense of both where Reach Studio is heading and the opportunities that it creates for us as partners. So thank you for your time. If you do have any questions, please come find us in the studio zone at the back, where you can find full slate of teams, producers, creatives, idea makers, and when you'll have a chance to talk about some of the opportunities that we have. Costs nothing to brief us. And while this is a hugely exciting year for all of us at Studio, for all of us at Reach, I must say that it is a World Cup year. There's no question that one of the biggest conversations will be on All Out Football.